Hey, hi everyone. My name is Allison Morris. I am the program manager for our Occupational Health and Safety program, as well as our Workplace Health and Safety Manager certificate. Can you do the next slide, Hannah? Also on the screen today, you'll see Hannah Moore. She's our program assistant, and she'll be helping with the presentation and time for Q&A at the end of our webinar today. Next slide. Brett is the final speaker joining us today. He is the instructor for our Incident Investigation Techniques course that we offer here at UC Davis Continuing in Professional Education, also referred to as CPE. A little later on the webinar, we will get to have a conversation with him and hear a little bit about his experience in the field, as well as his upcoming course. On today's webinar, we will have a brief introduction to CPE's mission and history, and then we'll go over some of the specifics of the Occupational Health and Safety program, as well as our Workplace Health and Safety Manager certificate. As I mentioned, we will talk with the wonderful Brett about his upcoming course, and then we'll have some time for Q&A at the end. So let's get started with a quick icebreaker poll just for fun before jumping into the content of the webinar. Where is your ideal vacation spot? Is it somewhere near the beach, in the mountains, in the city, somewhere abroad, or do you just prefer to lounge at home? Please take a moment to answer this quick poll. Seems like a lot of students love to be in the mountains, which is my answer, in the beach, and we got a couple homebodies on the call today as well. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and end this poll. Thank you. So for those of you who are new to UC Davis Continuing in Professional Education, I wanted to share with you our mission. We believe that professional education plays a vital role in building our economy, improving our community, and enriching the lives of students that we serve. We are passionate about sharing the resources and expertise and knowledge of UC Davis with working professionals and other adult learners around the world. And we are committed to providing adult learners with access to the right education in the right format at the right time throughout their careers and lives. We have been providing quality education programs for more than 60 years with more than 62,000 annual enrollments. We serve students locally and nationwide with enrollments from all 50 states and over 100 countries. Just out of curiosity, how many of you have taken a course with UC Davis CPE before? Go ahead and drop that information in the chat if you would like. Well, whether you're a new student with us, which it looks like a lot of you are, or if you've already taken a class with us, I hope that you find the information valuable that we have in the webinar today. Before you get signed up, there are options for educational loans and training funds. Our Student Services Office is able to answer your questions should you be looking into one of those options. You can reach out to them through their general email address, which you can see on the screen, and I will go ahead and drop that in the chat later on, or you can call them directly. Their phone number is 530-757-8777. There's also a page on our website for financing your education that can provide more details for you as well. Next slide, please. And we do offer discounts for our courses. You can learn more about these on our website, but I will go ahead and highlight a few for you right now. Members of the Cal Alumni Aggie Association enjoy $50 off all of our courses, and this is a reciprocal benefit that extends to members of all UC alumni associations. Our professional partners receive a 10% discount, and my personal favorite, groups of 3 or more enrolling in the same class at the same time on the same credit card also receive 10% off of their enrollment. And as a special thank you for attending today's session, you will receive a follow-up email with a coupon code good for $100 off your first CPE course. So first, I would like to discuss what you can do with an occupational and environmental health education for those of you who may not know. This type of education provides students with a strong scientific background in hazard identification of chemical and physical agents, toxicity assessment, like exposure assessment, risk characterization, risk mitigation, and communication. These are concepts that are multidisciplinary and can be applied in the workplace community or in consumer settings. And many of these courses we offer count towards REHS hours and are certifiable units through the Board of Certified Safety Professionals. So for more information on specific courses and their credits, please reach out to me via email after the session or check out our website for further information. Our Occupational Health and Safety program, which we also refer to as our OHS program, covers a variety of course subjects. In addition to courses that run on our Workplace Health and Safety Manager certificate, we also have hazardous material management courses like our 8-hour HAZWOPER refresher and our 24-hour HAZWOPER training. These courses do meet requirements established by OSHA for training under the hazardous waste operations and emergency response standards and the equivalent California standards. More information about that can be found in the course descriptions on our website. We also have begun to teach courses related to construction safety. We have a new course running this summer called Introduction to Construction Safety, which will help students identify and mitigate exposures to occupational hazards and gain an introductory level knowledge in construction safety. If you are interested in getting more information on this course, please visit our website. So the Workplace Health and Safety Manager certificate is a fully accredited program with academic units. There are 3-year and 5-year paths depending on what works for your needs. By the end of the program, students will have completed 9 courses. All 9 courses are required in order to complete the certificate. The cost for the certificate is about $5,990, and you pay per course as you go. It is not a one-time or a lump sum payment. Our certificate, as of this summer, will be moving back completely in person. Certificate courses generally range from 2 to 4 days in person, and they are held at our One Capitol Mall location here in Sacramento, California. If you have visited the certificate page on our website, you may have noticed that the total certificate cost is different than the one that I just mentioned. This is due to the fact that we are undergoing a division-wide slight price increase for all of our courses taking effect in fall of this year. So our website will be updated to reflect the new prices at the end of this summer. If you would like to take a few courses at the lower rate, I recommend signing up for some of our summer classes before the fall price increase. So here's the list of the 9 required courses for our certificate program. As I mentioned earlier, Brett, who's on the call today, instructs our Incident Investigation Techniques course, which you can see on the screen. If you are interested in pursuing the certificate, it does not matter what course you start with. You can simply begin with a course that interests you or fits best into your schedule. And the courses can be taken in any order. I do want to clarify, anyone can take any of our courses. You do not need to be enrolled in the certificate program in order to take one of the courses offered on the certificate. If there is simply an individual course you would like to take, please feel free to sign up. As mentioned previously, you can complete the certificate in 5 years, or you can follow an accelerated path and complete the certificate in 3 years. When you do this, you will receive the final cost of your final course fee waived, and the $125 certificate application fee will be waived as well. The final cost of the final course fee will be waived up to $675. So the accelerated path is a great way to save yourself some money and some time. The 3-year accelerated path option is only available to new students. So if you've taken 1 or more courses towards the Workplace Health and Safety Manager certificate program, you will be required to cover the full cost of the program and pay for the registration fee in order to receive your certificate. In order to complete the 3-year path, you will need to declare your intent by filling out a form prior to your first course start date. If you would like a copy of this form, please feel free to reach out to me via email and I can share one with you. So now we're going to be getting into our instructor spotlight with Brett. Brett, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. Can you tell us a little bit about your background in occupational health and safety?
Well, I'm semi-retired now, but I did spend a few decades in that career field. I have kind of a non-linear path. If any of you have felt like, man, I feel like I'm bouncing around a little bit in life, that was my early life. I started out in healthcare, and I was a paramedic, and I trained as a critical care nurse. And probably a lot of you are aware of this, but at that time, most nurses had 2-year degrees. And so I always liked science. So I decided I would I would go back and train in physics. So I did. And I was fully expecting to work in medical physics, radioisotopes and linear accelerators and all that kind of thing. But the job came up with a signing bonus regarding the utilities, and there happened to be a nuclear plant in Sacramento. So I signed up for that, and that ended up being a great career. Unfortunately, it was only about 10 years long. And I ended up trying to figure out what I was going to do because the plant was going to close. And at the time, it was difficult because my first baby was being born. So it was a lot of, I don't know how would you put it. It was very kind of scary, your first child, and trying to figure out where we're going to go. And I had opportunities to go to Southern California and to go back east, but we live close to the outlaws and the in-laws, so we decided to stay. And I had enough skills that were transferable to go into health and safety, and that ended up being a great career for me. So I spent, I guess, about 25 years in health and safety, and through a variety of positions over that period of time. And it ended up being a very good career for me. And so now I've been teaching with UC Davis for, I don't know, some close to 20 years, give or take. And I have really much enjoyed sharing this profession with other people.
Thank you, Brett. Yeah. Well, what do you enjoy most about teaching adult learners?
Well, as much as I like some aspects of academics, this is a very hands-on course. And you do need to know some technical things to be good in health and safety. But this course that I'm involved with this time, it tries to teach you some very basic and important things that a lot of people aren't really that good at. And this is a chance for people to experiment and to be in a safe environment. And one thing I strive for is I try to make the course really fun. And also, I want everybody to feel at ease that this is a good opportunity to do some experimentation, and so we work on things like that.
Yeah, can you tell us a little bit about your upcoming course, Incident Investigation Techniques, and why it's important for students to take?
Well, as everyone probably knows, health and safety has a number of different components, and these have even been codified in things like ANSI standards and OSHA's 18001 and others. And to my knowledge, I've never seen a comprehensive safety effort that did not have an incident-based investigation component, mainly because there's always stuff that goes wrong. and you have to figure out what you're going to do about it. And if you have some skills in this area, your chance of figuring out what actually happened is higher, and your chance of actually getting a fix that works is higher. But if you're just trying to wing it, which I have done, it usually produces less than desirable outcomes.
And just one more question. What type of student do you think would benefit most from taking your class?
Well, the course was designed really to fit the needs of many people. We always emphasize the basics because the basics are critical. And I've been doing this long enough and supervised enough people over the years that a person could be doing this for a long number of years and still really not have any really well-developed skills. It's kind of like if you're not getting feedback on how things are going, it's very difficult to improve. And so that's part of what we're trying to do in the course is we don't really care where you come from and how much experience you have. The idea is that we all get a chance to move up, get a chance to do something probably you've never done, and maybe to do something in a different way than you've never done. And if you're highly experienced in this field, I think you'll find it really interesting because we'll put you in a role where, we'll put you in a leadership role where now you're not so much worried about the specific skill, but how to work with other people and get a good outcome. So I would say beginners should not be intimidated whatsoever. And if you are very mature in this area, I don't think you'll be disappointed.
Well, Brett, thank you again for taking the time out of your day to be here with us.
Thank you.
As always, we truly appreciate all the time that you dedicate to our program.
I'm glad to do it. I'm slightly distracted because I'm headed off to Alaska tomorrow.
Ooh.
And I will tell you this, here's what occupational health and safety did for me. I ended up in a good career, and now I'm able to enjoy some of the fruits of those labors. So that's what mine tomorrow's about.
Well, thank you. Have a safe trip, Brett. And if any of you are interested in signing up for Brett's class, Incident Investigation Techniques, I will drop the link for it in the chat shortly. Brett's course will run in person this summer on June 22nd and 23rd from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific time. So now I'm going to open up the floor to questions. I will be able to answer questions along with our program assistant, Hannah Moore. Additionally, if you have any questions that you would like to ask Brett about his course, please feel free to ask those as well. And you can begin dropping questions into the Q&A or the chat box, and we'll just give everyone a moment to do so. These can be questions regarding the certificate program, upcoming classes, anything like that, or just more information about UC Davis CPE. I see Teresa has their hand raised.
Okay, Teresa has a question. She's already done the 8-hour HAZWOPER. Does that mean that she would be excluded from the fast track or the 3-year accelerated?
So no, you will not be excluded from the fast track if you've done the 8-hour HAZWOPER. The 8-hour HAZWOPER is actually not a class that is associated with our Workplace Health and Safety Manager certificate program. It's just a separate class that you can take. So if you have taken that class, you can still sign up for the 3 years accelerated path. If you are interested in doing so, I'll drop my email in the chat in a little bit, and you can email me about that separately, and I can get you the proper documentation and further information about the accelerated path. Please continue to drop your questions in the chat. Also, if there are questions that you feel may take a little longer, or if you have quite a few questions, I will be later in the presentation leaving a link for my Calendly, so you can schedule a separate meeting, separate 15-minute meeting with me as well. So Teresa has another question. They are interested in long-term homeland security and disaster work. Would these courses apply directly to that direction? So some of our courses do go in that direction, particularly like our emergency management and preparedness class. But if you are interested in looking at overall the details of all 9 classes that are required on the certificate, I can drop the link for you in the chat for that as well. And you can read through those program descriptions. If you are interested in speaking in more detail about if this certificate would be a good fit for you, we can schedule a separate meeting, and you can give me a little bit more detail about that, and we can go into the certificate to figure out if this is a good fit.
Just to have a little fun here with Teresa, she said she is lateraling out of equine, so I'm wondering if, you know, a little combination would be she's on a horse wearing Tyvek and a respirator because she had HAZWOPER. Would that be something that that you've seen before, Teresa?
100%, she says. Nice. Well, if there are no further questions, we can move on. We are going to take one last poll with you all before sharing our contact information. So please just take a moment to answer that. It's about what is your next step in the program? Are you interested in enrolling and would like to be contacted about that? Do you need some more time to think about it? Or are there some lingering questions that you would like me to answer for you, and we can talk about it in more detail? So yeah, if you selected that you need some time to think about it, we totally understand. This program is a big commitment, a big decision. So please let us know if any questions come up for you. If you have some lingering questions or you're not quite sure if the program fits your needs, please feel free to contact me over email, and I can answer those for you, and we can discuss to see if this is a good fit, if it is going to help you get where you want to go in your career. And if you are ready to enroll, don't worry, I will go ahead and reach out to you via email after the webinar ends, and we can get in contact and hopefully get you signed up for the class or classes that you are interested in taking. So I am going to go ahead and drop all those links in the chat box that I have been mentioning along with my personal information. Please feel free to contact me with any additional questions about the program or our certificate. I'm always happy any chance I get to talk with students one-on-one. You may have noticed I also went ahead and dropped a link to our Occupational Health and Safety Facebook page. If you are on Facebook, please head over there and give us a like or a follow. I'm always updating the page with interesting news articles that are related to the field, and I am posting about upcoming courses. So it's a great way to stay informed. And if email is not the best way for you to communicate, you can always reach out to me through my Calendly to schedule a Zoom meeting or a phone call, whichever you prefer. So thank you all for coming today. Please remember to look in your emails for the coupon code so you can get $100 off your first UC Davis CPE course. And I hope to see you in one of our courses soon. Have a good rest of your Thursday.